In my years fighting crime, I've learned one truth. That every villain is the hero of his own story. You're better than this, Clark.
That's the problem with fighting for truth and justice. The battle never ends.
When does it stop?
When there's no more crime.
We are at war with these animals.
I won't hurt you unless I have to.
Hope isn't enough to save the world.
None of us wanted this.
You're either with me or against me. We both knew it'd come to this.
It was only a matter of time.
I'll try to make it painless.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got all kinds of crazy Injustice cutscene to break down. Let's do it. A lot of you also requested that I talk about that supposed Arkham game leak, so I added that to the end of the video. But this is so cool. So this is picking up right after the last game left off, and they explained that because they didn't want to repeat the Batman v Superman thing from the first game, that they brought in Brainiac as the new villain, with the Society being like the new regime type organization that Batman has to rise up and fight, because a lot of his old alliances, like they say shattered alliances in the trailer, have either become collaborators or victims of the regime. So basically, like, all the teams are getting shattered, everybody's getting mixed up, and then Brainiac is coming in with this new Society group. So if you're new to the channel, you have no idea what's going on. I do DC videos every week for the game stuff too. Be sure to subscribe to get everything, because there's a whole bunch of Injustice coming. I'm doing a giveaway that I'll explain at the end of the video too. The other big twist, the Darkseid teaser at the end, is something else too. He's seeing all this chaos and taking advantage of it. So he's just like one of the playable bonuses. There's also a couple other characters that you don't see in this via premium skins, like Jon Stewart, Power Girl, Reverse Flash. And this is kind of crazy, but it seems like a no-brainer. Because it's NetherRealm, Ed Boon basically said that they're putting Scorpion in as DLC, so you can actually play with the Mortal Kombat character in the Injustice game. But if you don't remember the story from the end of the first Injustice game, what happened is that the good Superman from the alternate universe came in and helped defeat Regime Superman, this evil version of Superman. This is like the full big cutscene from the end of that game, so enjoy.
Your reign is over. You won't terrorize these people any longer. Fear is the only thing these people understand. One day, you'll learn. You'll have to kill me.
No, not even you. There's been enough killing.
Superman's accomplices have been rounded up or turned themselves in. The next job is restoring civil order.
The transitional government has its hands full. We're here if they need help.
Thanks, but no. The people need to know they're in control, not us.
So you haven't changed your mind?
I respect the president's offer, but I don't belong in government. None of us do.
You think Batman has a future here?
Crime and corruption will return. Ollie would have called me a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
And you're Superman?
He'll stand trial. They all will.
He was right, you know.
About what?
Put in the same position, I might have done the same thing. We never know what we're truly capable of.
I hope for your world's sake you never find out. Just keep this in mind.
Yeah?
If something ever happens, and you do lose it, I'm coming for you.
You'll have to get in line.
So they put him in prison, and this is basically where you pick up at the beginning of this trailer here, where he's getting out of prison. So it's like, okay, I'm out. My regime has freed me. And now it almost looks like the Damian Wayne Robin is going to be going up against his version of Batman. They're not getting too complicated with alternate universe characters here. So it's basically everybody's friends turning on each other in a way that you didn't see in the first game, because they're like, we saw Batman fight Superman, we don't want to repeat that outright. It has to be something that's much more compelling. And what's more compelling than Damian Wayne deciding that his father is not extreme enough? That's why I love his character so much, but this is obviously like a much older version of the character than you see in the animated movies and the cartoons. They actually just started that Super Sons comic, if you're a real big fan of the idea of young Damian Wayne teaming up with the son of pre-crisis Superman, John Kent. So the other thing about this that I'm wondering is that they're going to have DLC for Damian Wayne to get his Batman costume, because there's a number of versions of the continuity. There's always like an alternate future version where you get to see Damian, who has picked up the mantle of the Bat after his father, Bruce Wayne, has died. Now, usually he's just like a more hardcore sword-wielding Batman, but his costume looks pretty badass. And I know a lot of people, because of the Nightwing news in the DCEU, the actual DC movies, are wondering if maybe, Ben Affleck wants to leave in a couple years, if they'll just transition Grayson into the role of Batman. There's this big thing about people taking the cowl. I don't know if they'll ever get to battle for the cowl in the movies, but the thing about the game that's so cool is that you can just give the character that skins, so you can kind of do a version of that storyline without having to wait 6 years to get to it. The other big thing a lot of you are asking about is that new Arkham game that's supposed to be announced in March. There was like a save the date teaser where everyone's like, something really big is coming from the Arkham people. And then supposedly somebody claiming to be from the WB Montreal studio who is leaving his job and is like, I don't care anymore. This is like the Reddit headline, so you take it with a grain of salt. Said that it's going to be an insurgency game, or like Arkham Revolution, where the underworld resists Batman's rule and orchestrates a mass breakout. So that might be the basis for the story of the next Arkham game, but they're going to be announcing it next month anyway, so we won't have to wait that long to find out. But here's like the big bullet points from his big info dump, so just take it with a grain of salt. But he says it's been in development since 2014, takes place 3 years after the events of Batman Arkham Origins. Playable characters will include Batman and Robin with a Dick Grayson Robin, not Nightwing. I know a lot of people were like, maybe Damian Wayne's going to be Batman in this. That was supposedly going to be a thing, but apparently that's not the case. 3. It will introduce a new location in Gotham, a coastal area that he claims is supposed to be the same size as 3 islands from Arkham Knight. So just like a really big story area for the game. players are supposed to be able to fast travel between the Batcave and Wayne Manor. The mechanics of the Batmobile have been completely changed. There's no more battle mode when you're chasing people. Combat features are a little more dynamic. That's a no-brainer. The big villains include Maximilian Zeus, Dollmaker, Killer Moth, Anarchy, Two-Face, Blockbuster, Ventriloquist, Cornelius Stirk, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Dusan Al Ghul, Mad Monk, Dala Riddler, and Joker. And then this last really big one is kind of weird. It's a bit of a head scratcher. So he says that Owlman is the main villain of the game, but then he also names him alongside the Court of Owls in the Talons, who are going to be like these big elite bosses. But the problem is that Owlman is just Earth 3 Batman. So I don't know if he's talking about Talon from DC Comics and mistakenly said Owlman, or if it's genuinely Owlman from another universe that's come to our Earth. So if this is true at all, I think that it's the Thomas Wayne Talon, it's not Owlman, because you have like all these normal villains in this single continuity. Why would you include somebody from an alternate universe? It doesn't totally make sense. So if the person leaking this is actually being truthful, maybe he's just not like a big comic book person, he's just a big games person. Either way, new Arkham game, new Injustice game, they're both going to be awesome. I'll be giving away copies as we go forward. I'm doing gameplay videos on my game channel, Charlie Streams. There's a link in the description for that, but I only post a couple videos a week to that channel. But there is new Deadpool 2 that's coming up that I'll be posting later tonight on the main channel, as well as a whole bunch of X-Men universe stuff. They explain the future of the X-Men universe. And then there's some brand new DC TV too, because they're talking about next year's 4-night crossover. But the DC TV stuff might not post till Monday because I got Game of Thrones tomorrow with Walking Dead, so it's kind of booked for Sunday. But there's a new round of the Injustice 2 giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Congratulations to last week's giveaway winner, Willie Rodriguez. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. What's going to happen next is I'll post that Deadpool 2 that should be up in a couple hours. While you wait for that, you can click here to learn all about that Nightwing movie that's coming up, and you can click here to learn all about Iron Fist Defenders. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys in the next video.